Okay, fellas, it's been a couple days. Had a few things going on. It's time to go ahead and finish getting this blue Banshee torn down so he can go ahead and get it to powder and make up his mind on what color he's going to put on what and start deciphering what's good and what's bad. So the first thing we're going to do, we have the whole rear suspension's been untouched. I haven't done anything to it. It's still all intact. So we're going to go ahead and take that off, and other than the wiring harness, it'll be stripped and ready to go. So we're going to start with the master link on it. So we'll go ahead and knock this master link loose real quick, and then we'll go ahead and get this thing torn apart. My cameraman is not available today. He's doing homework, so I'm going to do the best here I can. So with master link, I usually just take and knock it off with a hammer, just like that. It's really simple. It's a good idea if you can to have somebody put their hand behind it or put a towel around behind it or something so it doesn't fly off. Sometimes they'll kind of fly off. And just pry it off, pry this plate off. And if you got an O-ring chain, there's going to be two O-rings back there. This one's split, so it's done for. And then just push your master link out and your chain comes off. Okay, now let's start tearing the good stuff off. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take off our hubs, and I already took the... Okay, we're going to take our hubs off, and I already pulled the nuts loose, just to spare you guys the noise of my compressor. So we'll take the nuts off and slide the hubs off. And they got anti-seize in there, so that's a good thing. And we'll take the right side off. Slides right off, good deal. I like when stuff goes good. Okay, now we'll get our axle taken apart, and we'll slide the axle out piece by piece. So I'm going to set y'all down right here. And on this axle here, it's got an aftermarket billet lock nut on it. So it would have it'll have an Allen head bolt in there for the pinch bolt. So this is here, we won't have to worry about taking those two big nuts loose off the axle. We'll just spin this axle and find the pinch bolt. Here it is right here, and that's going to be a 5. Get a 5mm on it. Loosen it up. Then the way these back off, you can just take like a Phillips screwdriver and stick down in here and back it off. I actually have the tool that you can use for that, so I'm just gonna use that and widen you up a little bit. And see, I have my brake lever off already. Let me put something in here to lock this axle from turning. I'm just gonna put a pry bar here through it. If I had the brake lever on still, I could just use that. There we go. So we'll just spin this off. Okay. And then it'll slide right off the axle. Like that. Alright, and we'll go ahead and pull the sprocket off and get it out of the way. Pull that out of the way. Then the sprocket hub should slide right off. Yeah, they got plenty of anti-seize in it. Slide that off, and we'll set that up here. We'll go ahead and pull that brake rotor, brake caliper off so we can slide the axle out. All right, we'll come over to the caliper. We'll take that off. That's just two 12s right here, one's down here. They got those tight. Get a ratchet. Alright. Okay. We have the caliper out of the way. We'll just let it chill down here so we can go ahead and pull our axle out. I'm going to widen the shot here a little bit. This axle should slide right out. Everything goes right. Yeah. There we go. All right, we got the axle out. Now this brake disc should slide right off that way, but I think it's pretty stuck, because I tried pushing down on those hands and it wouldn't budge. Now I have the nut on the end of the axle, that way I don't booger the threads up. I'm gonna try a couple of good taps with the ball peen and see if it'll move. Yeah, it's moving. That baby was stuck, but she's off of there now. Look at the rust on it. No anti-seize there, and you can tell when they painted it, they couldn't get it off to paint it because there's no paint on the edge of the hub there, so they painted it together. So they weren't able to get it off like we were. But we got it. And then here on the other end, I'll show you guys, threads are still good to go. See there, I had the nut on the end of it, so that protects it when you do that. Okay, we've got the axle out. Now we're gonna go and pull the carrier off. I'm gonna move you guys a little bit. The carrier is gonna be, okay, so we're gonna have a 17 here and a 17 here. So I'll go ahead and back these out. That wasn't even tight at all. I'm gonna leave that in there, let it hang from there. And a 17 over here, the bottom one, and there should be a 14 on this side, and it's all buggered up. It looks like it's had vice grips on it. This wasn't very tight either. Okay, so we'll pull that out. One adjuster fell off down there. Pull that out. Let me see if you guys can see. And then we'll just pull the top bolt out and slide the carrier out. There we go, carrier's off. Oh wow, they boogered those axle seals up, putting them in big time. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pull the shock link and shock off and all that good stuff now. So I've got a buddy out here borrowing a trailer. I keep having to stop, so I keep losing where I'm at. So I think we're gonna do this last. Okay, then we'll pull the bottom bolt off. They're both going to be the same. You're going to have a 14 on one side and a 17 on the other. I'm just using a 14mm socket with a 17 wrench for the backup. Go ahead and push that bolt out, if it will come out. Pretty good bind on. Let me get a 17mm socket here, and what helps sometimes is just kind of taking the bolt and running it out. Why it's got such a bind on it. It shouldn't have a bind like that on it. We're going to take it, push it out from this side with a little punch. Let's see if I can get it moving here. Just take this punch and push on it. When I turn it, it'll push it. There we go. Now it binds off of it, and we can take our top bolt out now. Let me aim y'all back up there. And now we're back at the top bolt. So we'll just wiggle our shock a little bit. This one's stuck too. Let's take a punch and knock it out. One crazy ride. Okay, pull my drift out. We can just lift the shock right out, set it down. Now we'll go ahead and take our shock link loose. We'll disconnect it from the swinger right here. That way we can go ahead and pull the swinger out of the way. That's going to be a 14 millimeter nut and a 17 millimeter wrench on the other side. Okay, take the nut off of that, and then it should push right through. I don't know why I expect it to. Nothing else is coming out like it should. There we go. So we can drop that right out. Watch out for that dust cap. Now our swinger's loose. It's ready to come off. Come to the other side, and then we'll grab the bolt. Won't come through. I'm going to come around back to the other side again, take a drift, and tap it through. Just enough I can grab it. Good enough to pull hard enough on it. That should be good. Widen y'all a little bit. Support the swinger so it doesn't fall. Grab the bolt. And out she comes. Okay. We'll go ahead and pull off our lower shock link off the frame. Same deal with it, 17 and a 14. You can walk up to the back of a Banshee with a 17 and 14 and do some damage. Go. Now this bolt here I need to save because in the stainless bolt kit that we're going to order, it does not include this bolt. So that's kind of why the other ones I'm just dropping them on the ground. I'll just throw them in a spare bolt box or whatever. But this one here I'm going to save because this one doesn't come in the kit. So now our shock link's off, and to pull this one out, it's no big deal. It's also 17 here. Oh, you can't see. Sorry. To pull this off here, it's no big deal. It's just a same thing, a 17 and a 14 over here. I'll take that out later. Only thing we have now, what I noticed a while ago was funny. I was going to pull the master, the reservoir off, and they put the bolt in from the backside. So with the shock there was no way to get that out. Pretty crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and unbolt the master. Get it out of the way. See, all these bolts here will come in a stainless kit. We're going to have to come around this side to actually get that bolt out of the master. See how it's, the reservoir. I have a bad habit of calling things the wrong name in my videos. And I don't know why they put it in that way. Maybe they're going for the ultimate clean look, I don't know. See if we can get that one out. And it's a bolt off the plastics. Okay. Get that master off the frame, that reservoir off the deal there, and there we go. Here's all the goodies off of it. The only thing left on it is going to be the coil and the wiring harness, so I'm going to get that off and then lay everything out and start going through everything and send him a picture of all the parts that can be powder coated so he can start getting a mental image of what colors he wants on what part. I need to inspect the tranny, the crank. The crank I'm thinking may not be any good. I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking there's going to be excessive thrust right here on the rods. I need to get a feeder gauge out and check that. But anyway, I'm going to go through all the rest of the parts and check everything out. The top end's going to Nate. He's going to inspect the bore for me and check the port out, all that stuff that's on it, so we can see if it's going to be worth running, because it's going to be a trail bike. So anyway, guys, it's stripped. I'm just gonna get it off of here. I'm just gonna get this old harness off of here with this automotive type stuff on it, and it'll be all stripped down and ready to go. So I believe the next video that you guys see of this bike is gonna be probably picking it up from powder, which would be pretty exciting to see what colors end up getting put on it. So this pretty much completes the whole tear down of the bike. We pretty much covered tearing everything down. We did from pulling the engine out to the front end to the rear end. So I hope this helps you guys out. I'm gonna get cleaned up, get a little bit of stuff organized, and let the guy know it's all tore down. Y'all have a good one and God bless.